hit that like button in the next 10 seconds if you're excited for an event at the end of Season 9 which could potentially take place at Greasy Grove or Polar Peak. Hey guys, it's postboxpat. Welcome back to a brand new storyline video, and today we're going to be discussing the current state of the Fortnite Battle Royale storyline. Now there's a lot of stuff going on. In my previous video I talked about the secret storyline which is slowly appearing, which relates to the Greasy Grove storyline with Tomato Head versus Durburger. That is a huge storyline theory and it is definitely worth checking out that video if you haven't already checked it out. It really goes into a lot of depth about the Tomato Head and Durburger, and we will be mentioning a little bit of that in today's video, so if you haven't already seen that video, definitely do go and check it out. Quick shout out to everyone on screen who's been using my support creator code. Thank you so much to everybody who's been doing that. Much respect and love to you guys. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new around here and want to stick around for daily Fortnite content regarding map changes, storyline, and a lot more. Anyway, let's jump straight into this and show you guys where we are at. So the most obvious thing is Polar Peak and the ice area over here, and that's what we're really going to be focusing on in today's video. But before we jump too far into the most obvious thing, I wanted to cover the week 3 and week 4 loading screen, which go over a sand biome retexture or a new biome entirely. So take a little look at these screenshots we have on screen right now. So the first one looks like the guy is over by Lazy Lagoon and he's kind of chilling with a few puppies and stuff, and he's like a bigger version of the dog. I guess he looks like a dog skin maybe. It's pretty cool. You can see him really chilling there. I don't really see much in the background. I kind of look there. I kind of get a vibe maybe that potentially could be a bunker in the background, but most likely it's not going to be. On the right hand side there you can see the rail. I don't think it would be a bunker, but you never know. Probably not though. So there's nothing really going on in the week 3 loading screen. Then moving on to the week 4 loading screen, we can see that Paradise Palms seems to have a different texture on the sand. The sand feels like it's gone more yellow rather than orange. So potentially a retexture for the sand, or even a new sandstorm / biome which could appear in the Fortnite world. I think if that happened it'd be pretty cool. We'll have to wait and see, but that's everything we have so far in the loading screens. No storyline just yet. We can probably expect it in the week 6 and 7 maybe. Probably going to be the later ones, so maybe even 7 and 8. So usually they sometimes do a storyline where it's kind of like in 6, then not in 7, then in 8, kind of switch between stuff. But yes, nothing yet regarding loading screens and storyline stuff. So let's move on to the biggest thing of today's video, which is talking about Polar Peak and the event currently taking place here, which, just to let you know guys, is not actually taking place. I have personally been into several replays now, checked out Polar Peak, and you can see a few screenshots I've got on screen for you guys right now comparing this Polar Peak location to what previously people have been saying about this area, and you can clearly see that nothing has taken place. There is absolutely nothing here. There's no changes at all, other than obviously the major section, which we all know is the big location underneath. That's what's happened anyway. I know a lot of people have been comparing these online and stuff. Personally, there's been no cracks or no difference from what I've seen, which is really interesting information. So strangely enough, you know, them people doing them streams saying there's going to be a tiny little inch or a tiny little crack, there is actually no cracks taking place. So I find that pretty interesting. But yes, Polar Peak is definitely getting to a stage now where it potentially is going to crack. Like, we are almost there now. So obviously it's getting cracked every single update, not every single hour or every single 5 minutes like these people have timers on for. So yeah, interesting stuff going on there. But underneath we have this new area, which is actually spitting out a bunch of wind. I think this is quite an interesting concept and something which not many people have mentioned at all really, or talked about it. So you can see a little bit of gameplay on screen right now of me underneath here. Obviously this is gameplay of me just kind of chilling. I've already shown this gameplay off in the past. So yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. It's just me just getting blown away, meeting a bunch of people here, and I think it's pretty cool. So what exactly could be underneath there? Well, I've been discussing with a few subscribers of what potentially could be underneath there, and the most common theory that a lot of subscribers say and agree with is it is some sort of magical spell spitting out some sort of wind or something. As we know, the Ice King himself was the huge spell conductor or magician or whatever he is, wizard. He actually managed to cast a huge spell and cover the entire map in snow, which was amazing. It was a good event. It wasn't the best event, but it was interesting to see. Then we had underneath this location. So did the Ice King survive? Potentially. You know, when you think about it, we had the freeway war between the pirates, the Fire King, and the Ice King. We saw it in the Season 8 trailer, and now we can kind of tell the pirates have died off because all their bases have gone. The Fire King's died off because it's been taken over by the government, the term that I use for them vehicles over there. and then the Ice King still stands, which makes me believe that he is still alive. So potentially, what could be underneath here? Well, it could be a big spell, or it could be one of the dragon eggs. Now we know that the dragon eggs themselves were moved over to the big volcano. However, there were only 2 or 3 eggs located over there, whereas when you were underneath here, there were a total of roughly 5 eggs. So potentially the Ice King could have placed 1 egg underneath here, which I think, or 2, which I think was really cool because the dragon could have hatched, and it could lead to some sort of beast coming out of here. Again, that is another theory from a bunch of subscribers, something that I do believe in, and potentially that could happen in the Fortnite storyline. Now, if that was to happen, what could we do about it? Well, I'm not 100% sure. How would we fight this dragon? How would we do that sort of stuff? Well, Epic Games could introduce a boss type LTM, which potentially could be like the Minecraft Ender Dragon, but a whole global event. We've seen it with obstacles and objects like rocks and different things around the map where we all have to deal damage with pickaxe to actually destroy them. Well, that could be the same with a boss, but we have to do damage with our weapons. We saw it with the moving shard, the one that went all the way to Loot Lake. We saw it with the rocks. So potentially they could easily add a boss that fights back where we could actually shoot her and it's in the game for a while. The boss could even roam around the map once it's released from the cave. And it would take, say, potentially 2-3 days to kill because it takes so much damage, which I think would be amazing for the Fortnite storyline and would be possible for them to do. We've seen bosses in Save the World and stuff, so hopefully we will see some sort of creature or boss coming out there. That's what I really want to happen. Out of everything that I've been coming up with, I think that's the coolest theory, but it might not happen. It is going to be quite hard for them to program, but if it does happen, a lot of people would love that. Now, what else do we have regarding the storyline? Now, a lot of people have been discussing my previous video. Like I said, if you haven't already checked it out, it's quite an interesting concept because it goes over the idea of Tomato Head returning or the temple version of Tomato Head returning. So the more evil version, as you know, the temple version went over and took out Tomato Head at Greasy Grove. That's debated in my previous video. And yes, we have him kind of returning here. So potentially, is he going over to Greasy Grove to restore Durburger or even take over Greasy Grove or even melt Greasy Grove to become his new location? We don't 100% know. Or is he heading over to Tilted Towers to take over the Tilted Towers location, for example, the Durburger? As I discussed in the video, the TV is now located over here, and it was previously located in the other building, which is here. You can't see it in replay or creative because you have to actually physically render it in. I ain't rendering it in this game, so interesting concept. But yes, check out my previous video for more information on that one. Also, we talk about the Vikings returning and going over and teaming up with the Tomato Head people, which should be quite an interesting concept regarding a side storyline in Fortnite Battle Royale. The other theory that a lot of people have been tweeting me is the idea of Polar Peak falling onto Greasy Grove and causing it to melt. Now that would again be a great theory and would be absolutely awesome and is a potential. As this begins to crack, obviously, the ice is going to wear away, leading Polar Peak to potentially fall straight down onto Greasy Grove and do a lot of damage. I think if that did take place, the whole Fortnite storyline would change completely, and the Ice King would probably be eliminated because his base or castle has been eliminated, which obviously is clear to make us think that he's gone. But we're not 100% sure what's going to happen because obviously the underneath area is starting to open up. This could simply just be a cave, but the way the wind's being blown out at us, is it some sort of creature? Is it some sort of spell? Is it some sort of other world? Is it a teleporter? A portal? We don't know what it could be in there, but it definitely is going to be interesting for the end of the Season 9 storyline. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think that could be potentially under there. It'll be interesting to see what your theories are regarding that. Other than that, I can search around the map for other clues and theories regarding the Season 9 storyline. The other theory which a lot of people have been coming up regarding the end of the storyline is the EMP type system. These sort of locations are obviously being powered maybe by some sort of radio signal which is holding them up in the air. You know, the technology right now in Neo Fortnite is insane, so imagine some sort of electric signal which is going around the map which is keeping all these things powered, and obviously solar panels maybe on them, who knows what it is. But yes, they're all being powered by something, and an EMP would cause the entire map to black out. If the entire map blacked out, obviously we would lose the Retail Row location, Tilted Towers location. I know that the names are different, but Neo Tilted and obviously Mega Mall, they would be lost, and the whole system in Fortnite, these would fall from the sky. All of the locations like these here, for example, the slipstream and stuff like that would be turned off. Everything would be off, gone, and even this here, the power would go off, which I think would be interesting to see. I don't think that would happen at the end of Season 9. It would probably happen at the start of Season 10, but you never know. We saw the volcano event last season was insane. Fortnite managed to cause the huge fireballs to hit different locations, and Fortnite could even cause something to see Polar Pete actually fall. There is a potential, and I hope they hide the files better this time, because previously the storyline and the ending got leaked, which I think was a shame, and they couldn't really do much about avoiding it. It was everywhere, so I had to kind of talk about it, but it was a shame really. So hopefully this season the storyline event does not get leaked, which I think would be amazing. So we'll have to see. Funny enough, as I was editing this video, I actually stumbled across a bunch of different leaks. Now, the leaks actually cover a few different topics. I'm not going to put any screenshots or anything like that on screen because I don't want to spoil it 100% for you guys, but I'll mention a few different names and stuff and a few different concepts which we have. So far, the leakers are saying there's some sort of giant eyeball, which potentially could be a boss. They're not saying it is going to be a boss, they're just saying there's some sort of eyeball which could appear. We've also got the leakers saying about how potentially there also could be the ice which is melting at Greasy Grove. So not Polar Pete, mainly Greasy Grove, which I think is a very interesting concept for them to point this out. So as you can see on screen right now, here is a comparison between two images from Happy Power's video, which his fans actually sent him, and you can see the comparison here. If you guys want to do this sort of stuff for me, that'd be awesome as well. You guys can go and do that on my Discord in the media section. But yes, you can see there's two different comparisons here. However, I actually have a little bit of gameplay to clarify what exactly is going on here with this render issue or change in kind of event. Now, because of all the fake streams and stuff, they're obviously going to be thinking, wow, we've actually found something. But what they do in their streams is they say something is changing right now, which it's not. What's happened here is this is something which has been applied in the update, and it's simply changing on the Fortnite server. You'll never actually be able to see this change in game as a live event. You'll simply have to restart your game at a certain time of day or a certain kind of week. It's usually every week, and then it obviously changes. Like I said, I reckon probably tomorrow or the day after on a Wednesday, I do think something's going to happen at Polar Pete, like it's going to be stripped down a little bit more, but it's not going to happen live. It's only going to happen if you actually restart your game, just like we do with the map changes. Obviously, we have to update the game for that to take place. Now, take a little look at this gameplay on screen right now of me diving in. You can clearly see that the rendering is a little glitchy, it's flickering a little bit. So what I wanted to do is break it down a little bit further and slow it down for you guys. And what it's trying to point towards this is obviously we can see that the snow is going and the ice is kind of forming more. So obviously we know that the ice is probably going to be melting if the snow is going, but it's not happening live. It's happening with updates which are being applied to the game, and that clearly you can see there is a render issue which may get sorted in the next update. So we have almost 100% confirmed that it's melted a little bit. But for those live streamers watching this, or for those people that watch them fake live streamers, it's not happening live. This event is not, or will not happen live just yet. It will be happening live around week 6, 7, 8 or 9. Probably not week 6, usually week 7, 8 or 9 towards the end of the season, and something will probably take place around here. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I hope this guys has covered everything so far regarding the season 9 storyline. We've got a lot of stuff going on, so hope that gets everything covered so far for you guys and kind of catches you guys up with everything that's going on. Don't forget to go and enter in code postboxpat to the item shop. Go and support me over there. We only have 3,000 supporters now, so it'd be awesome if we could get up to 4,000 supporters in the item shop. Thank you everyone that's been supporting me, and once again, this is postboxpat signing out.